Can you hear me?
Good morning, everyone. We're terribly sorry for the late start. We had some technical issues that we're dealing with. I think we have it solved now. Can we proceed?
Perhaps before that, Mr. Chair, let me just ascertain that the witness is available. Madam Witness, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Good, we can see her.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Imam, you have the floor, please.
Thank you.
You can offer some prayers.
Thank you, Chair. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Rahmanirrahim Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Khairil maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Allahu allazi ja'ala lakum al-ardha qararan was-samaa'i bina'an وصوركم فأحسنوا صوركم ورزقكم من الطيبات ذلكم الله ربكم فتبارك الله رب العالمين هو الحي لا إله إلا هو فادعوه مخلصين له الدين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. All praise and glory and might and majesty and adoration and thanksgiving be unto you, O Lord Most High, the Creator, the Sustainer, and the Redeemer of all humankind throughout the whole world. We continue to depend upon your grace, your goodness, your healing power over the world. We ask that by almighty power you eradicate from the whole face of the globe this COVID-19 pandemic virus, that you restore normalcy throughout the whole wide world. As we continue our sitting here in the TRRC, we continue to submit all the witnesses that will come before us today, and we ask that you shall grant each and every one of them the boldness to speak the truth. Grant the commission the discerning spirit to discern between truth and falsehood, and grant the populace and the diaspora the patience to allow the due process to take its course. And at the end of the day, you being the just judge, will judge equally to the good and benefit of all. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bishop Odeko. Council, if we're ready with the witness, please proceed. Late start. But go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, commissioners and members of the audience. I must first of all apologize to the witness for the late start and for keeping her waiting almost all of yesterday afternoon without things proceeding, simply because we had technical difficulties we were dealing with. Madam Witness, our apologies. I hope you would understand the circumstances and the conditions we're operating under.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yes, things in Gambia are not as efficient as they would be in Germany, unfortunately. So
I would
if
say I was really irritated a bit, but I understand after having spoken to you.
thank you very much. Thank you for understanding. Before you start your testimony, I would like you to make an affirmation to speak the truth. So I'd suggest that you say the following, that I, Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc, hereby affirm to speak the truth and nothing but the truth.
I, Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc, affirm to speak the truth and nothing but the truth.
Thank you very much, Fatoumatta. An affirmation is as good as an oath, so you're expected to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. And I would encourage that you speak a little more into the microphone so that we can hear you. Or up the volume a little bit, if you don't mind. I would like to talk to you about the following issues this morning. That is your background. We would want to know who you are. Then we would talk about the events of April 14, 2016, starting from your Fajr prayers and the events that followed subsequently on that day. And also the events that took place on the 15th and 16th of April 2016. Your flight to Senegal, life as a refugee in Senegal, your return to Gambia, and the impact of the events of April 14th to 16 on your life and that of your family. These are the things we would want you to talk about. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So,
Council, just a brief intervention. Would you need any interpretation in any of the local languages, or?
That's a good intervention, Mr. Chair. We can try it and see whether that would work, considering that this one is virtual. But Fatoumatta, allow for interpretation in the Mandinka language before you respond to my questions. We haven't done that before, but let's give it a shot and see if it would work. So let's have the Mandinka interpretation, and then we proceed and see how that would. Hello, sir. Mr. Mane, we would want you to interpret in the Mandinka language. Are you set?
I'm set.
Thank you very much. So, Fatoumatta, it looks like it's quite an easy one. Fatoumatta, what are your full names, please? Before you answer, allow for the interpretation.
Fatoumatta itoni kontong mumuneti.
You may respond.
I am Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc now.
Date and place of birth?
Uluta mintole aning uluta lunjumale.
I was born on the 6th of April, 1994 in Dipakunda.
6th of April 1994 in Dipakunda.
Aka uluta April karotili woro 1994 Dipakunda.
Okay. Where did you attend schooling?
Yela karang follow mintole.
I attended, of course, in Dipakunda, primary school in Bakwata.
Some of the things you have said are not very clear, so perhaps I should just read them out from your statement. You attended Bakote proper lower basic school.
Aka karanta Bakote proper lower basic karambungol to aya follow wolto.
2001 to 2007.
2001 kata 2007.
And from there, you proceeded to Kotu Junior Secondary School from 2007 to 2009.
Abotawoto kata Kotu Junior karambungol to kabo 2007 kata 2009.
And then you went to Nusrat Senior Secondary School from 2010 to 2012.
Atata Nusrat Karambumbato Otumole kabo 2010 kata 2012.
And from 2007 to 2015, you worked as a musician, as a singer. And from October 2015 to 2016, you work at Supersonics Microfinance.
Ye donc la ke music la karo la kabo 2007 kata 2012. Bari nata do ko ke me yalonko aketa safaro do ku bundale menketa na floti. Sorry, council, from 2000 and what?
2007 to 2015.
Kabo 2007 kata 2015.
As a musician. And from October 2015 to April 2016, she worked at Supersonic Microfinance.
Edo ke Supersonic Microfinance kabo 2015 kata 2016 sankang.
Does that reflect your educational background and your work experience up to April 2016?
Ako bitum fo wala mukolu lanyati ite fongola jero ni la koluto aya sata te nyamen fo aketa wala nyama bang.
I still can't hear you. Could you check your microphone?
I said yes, that's right.
Okay, thank you very much. You can adjust the microphone so that we can hear you. And in early 2017, you founded the Solo Sandeng Foundation. Is that right?
2017 Junama Fongola Solo Sandeng Foundation yalo wotumole fo aketa wala nyama bang.
Yes.
Could you tell us about the foundation? What are its objectives?
Fem fanye wo kafola koto bang dalilo mumuneti.
Yes, in 2016, after coming back from exile, and shortly before the April 14th,
2016 bring amuruta nang kabo udayola wati stundrong ye wotumolem ye kafonyi law.
I consulted with my family, explaining that I wanted to set up a family in my father's name.
Wotumoleng anala badingulu kachata la dimbaya molu ka foyenko lafta kafolo la mfama toyala.
And also I seek help and advice from other people who had reached out when I was in exile.
Ako anata ya maro nyini modolu fanalu bulu. Meni ya lonko ye makoiro diala wato men audaita abe banko e bantala.
We set up the Solo Sandeng Foundation and launched it on the 14th of April 2017 to commemorate Solo Sandeng.
Well, Council, there are certain parts which I cannot get.
Could you leave the microphone and see if it would work as you speak? Try again.
Or maybe I could use my laptop if that works. I asked that yesterday if it's just giving us issues.
Okay, please try that and see if that would work.
Okay.
Is this working now?
Perfect.
Well, it's very clear now.
Perfect. Okay. So you sought advice from people who assisted you in making the decision to set up a foundation in your father's name. That's what you said, correct?
Akofo ya maro nyini mulu bulu puru kajube foisi nyin kafo lono ifa ma toya la wato men ipareta akofo ye wala fonumbang.
We lost it this time.
Something.
Maybe you should draw it closer to yourself.
Laptop o katandi fongola demanding.
Kindly say something, Madam Witness.
Ako FM for phone si mo bang. Say something.
say something?
Ako hanim bi yefem fobam because hanim bi mbuke moy sayinde.
It's not coming through. Mr. Chair, perhaps we should go off air and let her sort it out with the technicians. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Could you indicate to QTV that we are set? We are good to go? Welcome back, Fatoumatta. It appears that the problem has been sorted out.
Yes, I guess if you can hear me.
Yes, I can now. Thank you very much. Can we have the Mandinka interpretation?
Sayin paretale wairi ko kam moyle silam ni mem fodrom ba kanasorlale.
Thank you very much, Mr. Interpreter. And now you are telling us how you came about setting up the Solo Sandeng Foundation.
Amunte benyine fokanye nu ye Solo Sandeng kafonyi lono nyami.
Yes, it was launched on the 14th of April, 2017.
Nga adamuta April karotil tang anin nani 2017 sankono.
And what are the objectives of the foundation?
Kafonyi dalilol mumuneti.
Some of them are, and the most important one is to keep up the legacy of Sandeng.
Kuolu menu bakono men kuma yata je wolem puru Solo Sandeng ay mentu akoma puru nsio bambandi na atamandi.
Proceed.
Some of his values were, the rights that he protected and fought for.
Wolem nyinti nyantolu menni ya lonko atela nyantolu aning hadama dingul la nyantolu alota menni ye aning ayala kato dango bekem puruka mennu londi.
In a sense, it was intended to keep his legacy alive and to continue empowering his values and beliefs of a democratic Gambia that is fit for all. That's what you said in your statement. That was the principal objective, isn't it?
Amunta dalilo kumumenti wala mnyinti ko okafo ala lo mnyinti puru tala Solo Sandeng ala nyantolu ala lotan kangolu aning hammo momenti wala mkaje ko nyantolu kabringa te fango fo hadama dingul la nyanto elo ay sabati ay na pour kaje ko Gambia la banko ay ke bankuti me ya lonko ko demokrasi si sabati no banko kan anin tilingu nin tonya wosi keno nyame banko kan Gambia e ke bankuti mobe si kanyan dameng mobe la balunya e nyinya.
Yes, that's right.
Mike, Council.
Thank you very much. And you serve as spokesperson of the campaign to bring Jammeh and his accomplices to justice. Is that a position that you hold?
Amunta inatake moti menka kuma puruka jeko Jammeh ning alaw kafunyolu puruka jeko wulfanalu yenalo tilingu nin tonya nya tilingu la puru la kebaru menu yake.
Yes, I still do hold that.
And what do you do at the moment apart from those functions?
I'm attending college right now in Germany. After which I wish to pursue university.
Fantastic. Best of luck in your academic pursuits.
Council ko beteata bitunga beduale fo alasi ila hamo nila natolu beti mandi London yini Cairo silokan.
Give us brief information about Solo. Who was Solo? As you call him.
Kibar sutun dinna dorong Solo la kuoto jumale mu Solo fongote ko alika kumandi nyami.
Ibrahim Solo Sandeng was my father, firstly.
Follow Ibrahim Solo Sandeng namunte famati.
The father to 8 other siblings of mine.
Andung a telefona mu moti menketa mo seit fanang famati menu munte dolti.
What was his date of birth?
Foya ululu ngolon ne bang.
Yes, it's on the 1st of January, 1959, I guess.
Awuluta January karotili follow 1959 sangokono.
And what did he do?
Andung silang ala baluo kono ay muneke.
Ika?
Yes, I wanted to know, what did he do in the political front of this country?
Ay muneta mandi political nyaton kaya la karola political do ko la karola nyimbanko kan.
He was a member of the United Democratic Party.
Atebe United Democratic Party lekono.
And held positions such as the youth secretary.
Ay palaso lumuta je menu ko funding ke wala bunda nyaton ko.
And as I remember, Solo has always been holding meetings or organizing them for the party.
Hakilo bakanko Solo wata kabengulu kumandi aning nyoje kachalu patio nyintoyala.
He was also meeting with other parties, I remember, so that they could form a coalition.
Andung hakilo nyinjafana puru atening pati kotengulu la molu kasi kakacha puru isi deng ye bunda londi patiolu bese dem menna puru ka fereke ka jamme bondi.
And he was always fighting for other people's rights, standing for them.
Mole fanamu menka fero ke kata puru dolu fanali ye la nyanto sotong ka jeko wulu fanali ye tonya soto ko ilaftala nyami.
Would you say he was a political activist?
Foisa fono ko politiko tamandilale muati.
That he was.
Wale muati.
And a human rights activist as well.
Andu hadama dingulu fanal la nyanto fasa alale muati fanal.
Clearly, yes.
Aseneyata wale nyama.
Have you ever heard him say what he was, the extent to which he was willing to go in what he considered would be the best interest of the Gambia?
Fo ila moy roto ate la karola ate pareta pour ka mun simfa façon nu leta hani fo abedal no la daming pour ka jeko telu lafta menta mandila ni Gambia banko kan fo si soto.
Solo was always my code. If I'm supposed to be the sacrificial lamb for Gambia to be free, then so be it.
Solo akanyim fole nunko hanni misali kamma atebe bonola nioto bari Gambia la fansoto si kunno wokoma ako woto ate abo silo talale pour hanna atebe fola fanna bari Gambia sa fansoto no ko mo laftala nyami.
But for Gambia to free itself from what?
Pour Gambia ya fansoto kabo mun kono.
From the clause of dictatorship, as he saw it.
Puru kabo tajiria mararo kono kate haje nyamin.
Under Yaya Jammeh's rule from 1994.
Watu me Yaya Jammeh be mararola kabo 1994 sango kono.
But aside from his political activities, I am sure he was a loving father and a husband seeing how fondly you speak of him.
Hana manke ala politiko kunyalu fananti. Bari nga jele ko nakoro siroto molo meya lonko wulula lemu meya la dimbaya lu kanu meya abadi lu kanu ko e kadiya mo la ko la nyamin mole mem la fita fanna ka la fita la dimbaya la nyamin.
If one does not know firstly that Solo was our father, you would think he was our grandfather. I mean.
Ako menu ya lombake tumandulu idulu ka ay ka mutale fanko Solo muite lumamaleti amahani ke ifamati so bitun ani temo benyamin abeko mama yale fango bani tema.
Once I remember we went out together and I held his hand and someone asked me, "Hi, Hana nga say?"
Ako kadu hakilo baka lunkiling ana fama fintita nyola ibitala bari ayo ya nyobulo muta nyamin mo soton tamen ya nyinin ka suru account ka fa wai fodun ifutu talebang.
I told him yes, he's my husband, and he kept quiet and everybody was disturbing him.
Ako Marion ko ha nke malum nyindi ako bari afama yedele dorong amam fem fa kumo nyinto itendenta wole nyama.
And also he snores when he sleeps, but he snored.
Akobari afama ka korontole ni obesino ka.
So I think the naughtiest kid at home.
You are not his?
The naughtiest.
I was the naughtiest kid at home. I mean, the most stubborn amongst us.
Andung ayamira ate membe diam kanteng dingulu kono atele kungo jata be udolu beti andung atele modi fana me ya lonko amanya siata dimba la kol kono je.
So I used to take my phone and record him.
Ako akala telefono fongotale ni obesino la be koronto la akaw record.
So when he wakes up, he will hear us listening to something. He'll be like, "You did that." And I'm like, How did you know? I did not.
Ako tumodo luno kuninta aya moyi tulube la moy kan wola asafa en ko itele nyimanya ke bang. Yes, ako wol mu kulleta barata menula.
And he I don't know, he doesn't like going to bed during the day. He'd rather sit and then be slumbering.
Ako abukala fikata ila la ranto tilibulo bari akatara sirine tumodolu sinola.
So we take pictures of him and send it to his WhatsApp himself.
Ako kono fanang ikanata loluta ikaki afangala WhatsApp kono ala mobile auto.
You must miss him.
And he would always accuse me.
Andu nata fana yo jodrong akatwa tele tumila kafa etella baram etella manyamu nyindi.
You must miss him very much.
Amunta silang ala koye me ya bake.
I'm sorry about that. Tell us what happened on April 14, 2016.
Afonyeng muna keta April karotil tang anin nani 2016. 2016.
No, so on April 16.
April 14. Let's start with April 14.
Nga follow April karotil tang anin nani.
Yeah, on April 14th in the morning.
April karotil tang anin nani somanda iwulta.
We woke up to pray Fajr.
Iwulta purkata subasa lola.
It was myself, my mom, and my dad.
Aning Abama, aning Afama.
So after praying,
he
turned. I was already getting to prepare for work.
Sorry,
I was already getting up to go prepare for work. And he told me, I'm usually called Ajifatu at home.
I beg your pardon?
I'm usually called Ajifatu at home, so he called me.
Ako afama yako mandikatu ila suoko noje jamajama wakafa ene Ajifatu.
He told me we were conducting a peaceful protest today.
Ako afama kayan ko ha bide lafta fintilale ngata balambaya ke barimba kela kaira balambaya leti.
He told me, but I don't know if it will end well.
Akafama kay bar malonde fo alabango be nyi nya labang.
He told me, but whatever happened,
ako afama kayen ko memmen tata ke
make sure you take care of the family.
isi hakilo to dimbayatu.
And I would say I'm not the oldest.
Akondung abenyim fola ko atem ada manke ko atelon dinke bati.
But at that time, my elder sister was in Basse for postings.
Akobaro tembo ate koto musobe Basse obe do ko la woto mo.
She worked with the MRC.
Akobe do ko la MRC le.
And my elder brother was also in
akoto keo fana was where?
In Senegal.
Akoto keo be wotumo obe Senegal.
So I was literally the oldest at that time.
Akoto suo kono mennu bijang atele mulu fana la ke bati.
So when he told me that,
Akobira fama yo fae.
he told me not to come back home after work
Afama kai kana murunan suo kono nindu ko botala ni jita.
until I hear that everything was fine.
Hanufo niyamoy ko tanamanke ko beba nyamale.
He would also make sure my mom and the kids are safe for healing.
Andung ka jele fananko abama anin dindingulu men be suokono ibe tara tanko bundato.
So that's how I left for work.
Ako abota suokono wala nyama kata do ko wala.
And that's the last time I saw him. I spoke to him.
Ako wolem sinya labangoti aya famaje wolem sinya labangoti fanan anadiamuta.
And what arrangements did you make for your mom and the kids?
Amunta silang etena ta mun kulle topoto puru bani dindinguliye.
Seeing that he wanted all of you out of the house until you are certain, or you were certain that things were safe.
Kato wolem nyinti ko kay ko makamu mem fa laftale atelu momondin kana muruna mbungo kono hanfo nali aje ko ko bebe temberin ne tana mansoto wotumolem alsina muruna suokono.
At that point, I didn't do anything. He was supposed to take care of that.
Ako tembode ate mamfen fenke kato wotumo folo afale nyantawlu topotola.
So I left for work.
Ako tumola botaje kata do kuola.
Do you know what your mom and other siblings did for their safety?
Foyalo nebitu ibama anindi ndinglu men tutakoma ye muneke pruila tanko e sabati nyamin.
Yes, I learned they were taken to Kesering or Kololi, or somewhere around there, to a house.
Akaya mo ye samba Kesering wala Kololi e bungubije ila dinkira ye samba wole to follow.
Do you know why he took those steps?
Ako yalo ne munan ayo simfanya luta.
So Solo had been arrested not once, I don't think twice too.
Ako katu ye Solo mutale sinya kilinte hani sinya fula fananteng.
The last that he was arrested, that they held a private. Tujerem or Tanje, I mixed these two places.
Ako labang me ya mutanum fang ay kullo bengoleke fo tujerem fo Tanje a bengonyin ketawoleto barbitung idun tablu nyoto sate damen kilim.
And he spent, I think, almost 22 days in Mile 2.
Akondu wo wuji wo silo ay tilimuan nim fulake Mile 2 kasola.
After being denied bail.
Katu balanta le puru kana bail.
But do you know why he was taking all these precautions for his family?
Aka bisai ya lonne mundalila le ya sabu aka wo ferolu ke wo tankada ferolu puru ala dimba yalu.
Yes, he was certain that there was always brutality when it comes to protesting against the government.
Ako kato aya lonne ko wotumo tilimbali ya bale bekeri nim misali kama mulu findita meni ye fayita ndiko imalafi man sakundala Kenya la banko kan.
But did that extend to family members?
Fodun wo fanang wo tilimbali ya kolu kafuta dimba ya lumale mo nyimario fango kungo kola.
I suppose he thought it could have.
Namira roto aya mirako wo sekenole.
Thank you very much. And it was as a result of that he decided to send members of his family away from harm's way.
Enumbara bake ngamira o dalilo le yasabo ay nyim miraro soto pour kala dimbalu bondi silo kan mantoro si fute man nyamin silo men kan.
That's right.
Tell us what happened when you closed to work that day.
Afanya muna keta brite do ko ke foila ji wato sita.
Well, it was in the afternoon. I saw him running and looked haired.
I beg your pardon?
Could you repeat that again?
Yeah, it was in the afternoon while I was still in my office.
Utuma bala office okono.
That was at the Bakote Mall.
Jelam ba kote lao safar dinkira ba to jula ba dinkira kakadameng.
So I saw some women running towards us.
Akaya muso doluje be borikan nan kana itolukang.
From which direction?
Ulukabona minto mafane utumo.
From the Serekunda market coming towards Bakote Sukuta.
Ako ulukabona Serekunda marshe o mafangol la ikabona nan kana Bakote mafangol la kata Sukuta kang.
Did you have any contact with them?
Fweni moye nyomoyle ulukono bang.
Yeah, I managed to ask one woman, what is going on? Why are you people?
Akaya musukilinyi ninka ka fay munebe caring mulan na atelu be borikanteng.
She told me she was also told that they
Ela kumo bandula. What? Please, can you repeat that?
There was a coup d'etat.
Akoye yenyina fay nko coup d'etat le lafta kela.
And some people were arrested.
Ando ye modolu mutale.
That's why they were running.
Wala na telefonal be borikang.
When you heard that, do you recall what came to your mind?
Fo brio moy yo foite hakilo ya mutale ila miro tata mune kanu tembo.
Yeah, immediately I knew my father and his group were arrested.
Jele mu mfana ngani lon sondo mo konoko mfama na kafunyolu ye mutale.
And then I called my mom,
wotumole ngamba ma kumandi telefono to,
who confirmed to me that she also received a telephone call.
O fana yenyin tonya yandiko dole fana yate kumandi telefono to.
Did she tell
telling
you?
her the same thing.
O fana yo kumakilingule fai.
Good. And what happened next?
Mune natake?
My mom told me that we would stay where we were at the time until we ensure everything is okay at home.
Abama kai ntelte mbe damen to teng mbe tulawol to follow hanufo nin nata kolu be kalangolong nin kolu tenkunda.
And did you receive any further information later that day?
Fodu inata kibar do sotole bang wolu be kola wotilo nyin kono.
No, we later had to go back home.
Ako amanna kibar moy wo kola inata sais wo kono.
My mom and younger brother Mohammed
Akaba maning adoma Muhammad
had to go around some police stations.
Ya
He
damuta
informed me
kamurumurun kata police station to
inquire for my father's whereabouts.
Purkanyini nkaro ke afa mabe dameng.
Did you
They had no information.
Bari man kibar soto.
And what did you do? What did the family do after that?
Silan dimba nata muneke biri obotala.
On that day, we didn't do anything else. It was already in the evening.
Ako wakato tumo uraro sitale volunde man kokundin keno.
And on the next day, which was April 15th,
Ako asamo April karotil tang anil lulu.
we still stayed home.
Ituta siwo kono je.
We were waiting if we could hear a call to say your father is arrested.
Ako be batu kanu ngotumo. Fomo se kumandi telefono to bang. Ka afama kalango foye ko ya mutale wala be nyameng.
Did you use any means to try to find out whether there is any information out there regarding the whereabouts of your father?
Foye kuta mandile purka kibaru soto. Mensi nyi itandile ifama abe tembo mento wala abe damento abe bulo mento puru alisio londo soto no. Foye kuta mandile okoto bang.
Yes, I was constantly following social media platforms, especially Facebook.
Ako ha mfana mbe silo mentaka nu wolem dunia be la kibar sila banyi saunta woleto wolem Facebook aning anyong bunda kotangulu pour ka kibaro nyinin kolu Kenya to tembo.
Did you find any information?
Foyna ta kibar soto la ko to ba.
Yes, that evening I saw on Facebook on I think CD Sane's platform or Facebook.
Ako wolungura ro Sidi Sane la kibar bunda nyinto ay kibaro jeje
that Solo Sandeng was being tortured and was in critical condition.
ko ye solo sande mutale de ya tilimbalia ka balo dimindi andunga be tembeda mento abe dew abe batari mbake.
What did you do with that information?
Yemune ke brio kibaro moy.
Well, I was not sure if it was true.
Utembo malla photo nyalem folode.
And if it was, I was worried that my family would have been troubled with it.
Ako katu mbede unding puru ning kule men sotonta abe na dimbalo abe mde undila bakele.
So because it was late, I asked my siblings, let's go to bed.
Ako wairi bari otumo suo kuta akaka dokole alingatalla.
Yeah, hoping that probably I would hear something different the next day.
Abe jikirin ko tumando fasina kumado mo imenni o fatata bo samo.
That day would have been the 16th of April.
Amunda wala bolung la bekala April karotil tang ani woroti.
Yes, that's right, April 16th. It was on Sunday.
Ha wolem April karotil tang ani woro wolem.
Kindly tell us the events of that day.
Sa en wolungo kol ketanyame ngo fanyembang.
Early that morning while praying Fajr.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Early that morning, after praying Fajr, I went back to bed.
Ako wolun suba, briye suba salifoye bandi, amuruta ayela.
And then all of a sudden I heard some people screaming.
Ako bari anata ke terem makuta barata ay molu moy wurila.
And when I went out, Yakumba Jaite, Honorable.
Ako bira findita Honorable Yakumba Jaite beje wotumo bantoto.
And her mom.
Wuna bama.
Who was my good sister to my dad. We lived in the same area.
Andu Honorable Yakumba Jaite bama mu ate fama bari musoleti. Andu wotumo yalu manjam fanyola ebe nyobalaji.
They came to inform my mom
that
her sister, Yakumba's sister, who lived in the U.S.,
ko Yakumba badinyo me yalon ko lebe America banko ka wotumo
had seen on Facebook that my father was tortured and died.
Ko ayaji Facebook ko afama ya dimindile hanufo abonota afota niwala.
It was yes.
Please proceed.
Yeah, it was distressful.
Aketa de ngoni ni kuyabati.
And my mom was crying.
Abama be kumbo kang.
We didn't know what to believe at that point because it is as if someone tells you that dad is there, but you don't want to believe it.
Ako aketa de umbaleti otumo kumbobe caring bari aketa fele ko ni mona ta ko yeko ifama fatala adun kulem imang lano akola follow.
So Yakumba offered to give us a ride to pipeline.
Ako bitu otumo le Yakumba na ta fo ay bondije pour que samba pipeline
At Usainu Dabo's if what we heard is true.
Pour que samba Usainu Dabo la cordato pipeline.
Why?
Munanna.
But he was a party member of Usainu's and thought probably they would have heard something.
Ako katu wo fango fanambe Usainu Dabo la parti wole kono fo dalilo le ya sabu.
Okay, so what happened when you arrived there?
Biral tata woto mune natake.
Well, when we got there, we saw Usainu, and he was already crying too.
Ako brief tata je ye Usainu je aluotumo Usainu fanambe kumbo kang.
When I saw him, I feel somehow.
I beg your pardon, sorry.
Could you say that again?
When I saw him, I just concluded myself that it was true.
Ako brae Usainu je bitungo tumolong atefanga nata nyimuta ko wara oto nyinkuma muto nyaleti.
What did you conclude was true?
Ye amuta ko mune muto nyati nungo tumo.
That my father had died after torture.
Ko wala mnyindi ko mfama fatale biri ya adimindi.
Which I was informed of that day and which I also saw on Facebook the previous night.
Ko ye memfaye wolung aning ayem kibaro menjanum Facebook janin wolungo besila.
Did Usainu have a conversation with your family?
fo Usainu nala dimbaya kachata le bang.
Yes, we went into the house, and he told me he also had received the same information.
Ako ha edunda bungo kono andung Usainu ye nyumfa ko afana yo kibar kilingo le soto.
And his source is reliable, so really he believes that it might be true.
Andum meye kibaro nyindiala e kibaro soto silo menna bundale meya lonko jikin na bundalom o dalilo le asabu afanan lata la ko nyin kibaro to nyalem.
But he would still make more inquiries and go to Banjul.
Bari hanimbi
Get back to us.
hanimbi abe continue le ka kisi roke ka nyininka roke bari ebitala le fo banjunu andum kol nata la nyawnyanding nyama abe kibaro nyin sindila itolumale.
Did he say where in Banjul he was going to go to get the information?
Faya fole utumo abita minto le banjunu sate okono pour kata nyin kibaro nyininje.
No, I didn't know.
Hani mawto long.
And what happened after that?
Biro ketamune nata ke wulbe kola.
Yeah, we left and went back home.
Akotumo le botaje ifanalu murute ya ila suokono.
And after some time, he came back with Lamin Diba, the late Lamin Diba.
Ako biro botala lom. Anata murun nang itolukang aning Lamin Diba wole mtala Lamin Diba membanta.
Who came to you with the late Lamin Diba?
Jumal nil tala Lamin Diba Natalia.
Usainu Dabo.
Usainu Dabo.
And?
He informed us that it was true.
Ay nyin kibaro di la jelo ko ha mem fata de to nyalem.
Proceed. What happened else during that day?
Tentem mune nata ke wotilo nyin kono.
Well, they had left.
And
the house was filled with people. Sympathized with the family.
Bungu nata fa molula menu yalon ko nata sanga konton la suwo kono je.
And there were a lot of young people from Dipakunda.
I beg your pardon, please.
There were
a lot of young people from Dipakunda who were there too.
Funding ke jama fanan nata je menu yalon ko bota Dipakunda.
I spoke to Yakumba.
Akata fangoni Yakumba di amuta.
She asked me what would we do.
Waya nyininka atel dun silale be munekela.
I told her, okay, I would gather the youth and I would talk to them.
Akako Yakumba woto mbe funding ke ulu bendilale ni e diamu.
I told them I am marching and I'm going to ask for my father's body.
Akaka yanko mbe wulilale ngatama adung mbita mfama afure okaninna.
Dead or alive.
Be balurim bang fata bang.
And if any of you would want to come with me,
fodung atelu momondim pareta pulunna eta nyola.
You're welcome.
Bitung ibisimila.
That's how we marched to Pipeline.
Akotu molem ye silota ye itamata kata Pipeline.
Where did you march from?
Aliada mutakatama kabomin.
From our home, from Dipakunda.
Kaboila suokono Dipakunda.
How many of you?
I remember my mom was crying.
Atelu mojelle tata bare aka hakilo baka be bulaje tumena ba ma be kumbo kang.
I couldn't say how many we were, but a lot of young people.
Akata fono la mojelle bije bare fondinke jamal le kafutama.
Boys and girls.
Kamba ndingul ni sunkuto ndingul bang.
Yes.
Ha.
And where did you go?
Saying altata min tole.
We went to Pipeline at Usainu's compound.
Ntata Pipeline Usainu la kordato.
Because before he left, he also said that we can't let Solo's death go in vain. We can't let this continue.
Ako katu janni wolu be bola nun itolia nyina fayen ko Solo la saya nta tuno la teng nte sonna nyi nyonku façon lié tenten ka kenyim bankun kan.
So he said there would be a press conference at his house.
Ako to kibaru be be kelale ala kordato.
So when we marched, we went there to join the press conference.
Ako birite lutamata itata kafujele puruka wo kibaru be ngai Kenya la.
As you were walking towards Usainu's house, were you saying anything? I mean, by you, I mean your party, your group. Were they saying anything?
Wato men albeta makan kata Usainu la kordato. Etening wo kafo molu menu bitakam. Falibe kumalle fokam bang silo kal bitakam tu moment.
I remember some people were behind me. They were shouting, "Jack killed my father." he killed Solo. They were saying that, I remember.
Ako ibita kan tumo men na hakilo ba kan ay nyim moy molu ba koma menu be nyum fokan ko jammele ye Solo Sandeng fa jammele ya fa ma fa bo kuma façon le fokan wato me be silo kay bita kan.
Did you occupy the main road or you were walking on the footpath?
Aliye sila ba temole mutabang fodum aliye silo janjangole ta.
No, it was on the footpath from Dipakunda. We came through Latikunda and then to Pipeline.
Ako ye silo janjangole ta kabudi Pakunda kana Latikunda between Tententa Wolela kata Pipeline.
So tell us what happened when you arrived at Usain's house.
Saya ngafanye mbirali futata Usainu la bungoto mune ketaje.
After the press conference, or sorry, during the press conference,
Kibaru beng beke kan tumo meng.
he mentioned that we would go out and march on the streets
Ay nyum foko ibe fintilale alung ibe tamala silo le kang.
to ask for Solo's release, either dead or alive.
Puru isi Solo bula afureo lombang abaluri ngolombang.
He also told us that they, the executive of the UDP,
Sorry.
he also told us that they, the executive members of the UDP,
Ay nyum fanam foye ko itelu men mu UDP parti o kunton ko luti.
they will be in front
Itel lebetal la nyato.
so that whatever happens, it could happen to them first.
Witum wala mnyindi ko kundi mbekela asi follow itolula.
He said they would hold hands at the back.
Akondu itol men betal la nyato ibe nyo bulole mutala yetara nyato nimmolu be kafulema wali yetara koma.
And that's how it happened, and we wrote on white papers.
Andunga kwa keta wule nyama. Ya kaitolu safe kaiti koyolu ya saferolu kebala.
What did you write on those papers?
Alemune safe o kaitolu bala.
On some papers, it was release Solo Sandeng, dead or alive.
Kaito lulu bala yenyele safeje ali Solo Sandeng bula abaluri ngolombang afureo lombang.
And on others, it was written based on the Westfield protest. Yeah.
Sorry.
Could you take that again?
Yeah, on some other papers, it was written, we released the Westfield protesters.
Kaiti dolu bala yenyele safanan safeje ko menu ye balambaya ke Westfield ali menu muta ali bula.
Do you have an estimate of how many people were involved in that protest?
Fo isa yirikano le mang mo men nanga mo ma beta o siloto.
It was a lot of people, I can't really say.
Ako mo jamale mude ata yiriko fonola.
Would you say it was a mixture of people of all ages and sex?
Afo fo isinyim fonola ko musol nin kewlu nin dindingul nin ke balu bele bije bang.
Right, all of those.
To nyala wulu bele bije.
And who led the group?
Jumale kafoni nyaton kaya.
It was Usainu Dabo and the UDP executive who held hands.
Ako Usainu Dabo le nyaton kaya ateni nyaton ka kotengo lumen be UDP itelle nyo bulomuta itelle tarta nyato.
Would you remember their names?
Foisi hakilo si dolu tolu mutale bang.
And I think I saw Uncle Femi Peters.
Akai Uncle Femi Peters DJ.
Lamin Diba, late Lamin Diba.
Tala Lamin Diba.
Both of them are late. Usainu Dabo.
Usainu Dabo fango.
Keme
Senjamme.
I don't know if I remember all of them.
Akwa malon fa hakilo se be mutano.
And I would imagine they set out from Usainu's house.
Akonna miraroto ye kuofolo kabo Usainu la bungoleto.
Where did they go?
Biri bota je dung ye tilingi tata mintole.
We headed towards Westfield.
Akobitung be nyatiling kata Westfield.
Give us a description of how things unfolded.
Bitung afonyeng biringali wulta kata silo kan kuolu nata bonyoto nyadile.
So when we left, we were chanting, we need Solo Sandeng, dead or alive.
Ako biribe wulla kata fo silo kay be nyina fo kan nung nsolata Solo Sandeng la abaluri ngo bang afureo bang.
And we were marching and we went up to around Pipeline Mosque.
Ako ebe tama kan wala nyama inata hanfo ifutata Pipeline jama ngoto.
We saw, I think, 2 trucks soldiers.
Ako e moto fula faringo je me yalon ko sojarol le bije.
They were with guns.
Kidolu bebulu.
But they just drove past us.
Bari
They were looking at us.
ibe jube kan de bari wolu ning moto tambitela le tendrong ibe jube kan.
So we proceeded
Bitu itententa wole nyama
up to around the Comium building in Caraba Avenue.
foi futata comium la korda bato Caraba Avenue silo kanje.
Then we suddenly saw trucks of paramilitary officers.
Ako tumole ye motobalu fanali je nyim para military ol bewol le kono.
They just came down and started beating up people, cracking out the crowd. And
wolu mandiamu wolu bri je drong wolu jite la motol le kono ye liparo damu taka boy molu kan.
Did they advise the crowd to stop the protest and disperse?
Fodum wolu diamu taka fo moli en ka fo enko alinyin tamu bula aliye janjang fo yo kumo fa aliye na bang.
I wouldn't know because I was not right in front. If they had done that too, I wouldn't know.
Akwa talon na fo wolu yo kele bankato ate mantara nyato nu wotumo.
Your group, excuse me, were they using a microphone?
Allah ka fo molu microphone le bali bulunum bang.
No.
Hani.
So all that was being said was without any technical amplification or any mechanical amplification.
Amun talbe membe fokan nung joran talibulu mensal la kuma kangulu warandi.
The only weapon we had were the papers that we held in our hands.
Joran mem tartantol bulu wala mga kaitolu menu safe ibembulo kono.
So
And
tell
the
us.
voices which we shouted.
Animbe kuma kangulu menu fokan dala.
And tell us what happened when they arrived and started beating up people.
Sayang afonye mune natake biritelu futata yemo lipo damuta.
Well, the crowd was chaotic then. People were resisting, standing.
Ako munta ketadu nyolol dekatu molu fanalu la balantale ilota.
And then some people were being thrown to the trucks.
Riye lolu muta ke diaku ya chikandi ke fay moto kono mwenye moto balu.
Did you see any people injured?
Fay molu jijele menu baramata bang.
Yes, they were beating. I saw one old man that they had hit, I think, with the baton.
Ako ha modo lu sotontale menu baramata ye menu lipay la batino la wo doko lu menu katare bulu.
But quickly, I don't know who that was, but someone just put me in a
Put you in a
taxi.
Akama lon jumale mude bari mole nataka ate muta doron ka dundi taxi okono.
Was it only you?
E teda manne bula taxi okono bang.
It was with my younger sister, I remember.
Aka hakilo ba kan atena do musolem yete lemuta ke bulandi taxi okono.
And where did the taxi drive to?
Sa en taxi oni yal bulandi men kono ayal tele samba min tole.
To Dipakunda, a home.
Ay sambe la suo kono Dipakunda.
Did you tell the taxi driver where you were to go to?
For alia for taxi driver ni yenne anyanta li samba la dami.
Yes, when we were put in the taxi, my brother-in-law told me, just go. I told him I wouldn't.
Akobiri bulandi taxi oni kono abitangma kayenne ko alta bari atelaf abalantal nunga ko en ko hanin tita.
But then he told me that you should go with your siblings.
Akubari onata fayenko ini do yeta aliyebojang ini dolo aliyebojang alta.
So you and your sister entered the taxi. How about your other siblings?
Sa itani idoma.
What happened to them?
Aldunta taxi okono ido dolu dun idoma dolu mune natake wala.
I couldn't find my brother, Muhammad.
Man do maje ka fume Muhammad mbarinke o maje.
Later we met at Dipakunda. He ran from Pipeline to Dipakunda.
Bari wokola nana taben Dipakunda kato ate bortanan ne kabu Pipeline kana Dipakunda.
But then he was already hit with a baton and he was followed by some paramilitary officers.
Ako bari wotumo ya lipa batino la le foka pare adum paramilitary wolu dolu fonglu baba indi kan wotumo.
When he got there, he told me that.
Birenga futata suokono ayole fate.
And with his injury, we exiled with that.
Ako anala ubaramo wato mebe banko bulala kata ni ubaramo tatale.
But all your siblings who were in town managed to make it home, correct?
Aka bari ido kolu menu bebe sate kono banko kan wotumo albena ta futa nyoma le suo kono.
Yes, we did.
Mbe futa ta suo kono.
Do you know what happened to the leaders of the protest?
Sai inata lonne mune keta wo balamba ya molu meni alon ko telle ya nyaton kaya mune nata kela fo ya lonne bang.
I saw them being arrested.
Na jele be mutakantu momen.
Do you recall?
I later
proceed, please. Proceed.
Tendeng.
And I later learned that they were taken to the paramilitary headquarters.
Andu nata mo fananko ye samba paramilitary wala korda batole.
Do you know who among the UDP executives were arrested at that time?
Fo ya lonne UDP la nyaton kolu kono e jumañol le mutanu wolungola.
Well, I don't know all of them by name.
Maybe tolu londe.
But like the few I mentioned here earlier were there.
Ako bari ngammo dantang lu menu tolu fo jangila nyaton kolu kono ngamenu tolu fo amamme bake wolu be o mutamolu kono lenu.
You mentioned Ousseynou Dabo.
Ye Ousseynou Dabo fo.
Kemese Njame.
Kemese Njame.
Femi Peters. And Diba.
Aning Lamin Diba.
Yeah, I remember Fanta Dabo was arrested on that day.
Hakilo ya muta Fanta Nyadi
Dabo.
Fanta Dabo fana ya mutale.
And Jukuna Suso, I guess.
Aning Jukuna Suso.
I wouldn't remember all of them.
Hakilo te be mutanola.
Okay. So while at home, you have managed to escape the events at Kairaba Avenue, and you found yourself home. Your siblings, Mohammed, had arrived. What happened next?
Sa bring alnata katawaire alikanata o dinkirato o kabo balamba ya dulato han fo futate ya Mohammed fananata futanang silang yaje ko idokolu fanalu be natale mune nata ke o kola.
When we arrived, it was less than 10 minutes. Approximately how many minutes? But it was not long.
Very sorry, can you go back again? Come again.
When we arrived, it was approximately between 5 to 10 minutes.
Brief that suokono amantambi minute lulu kata minute tangola.
Then a young man ran coming to us.
Ako funding ke ni mborona ta futate maje.
And told us that soldiers were coming.
Ay nyina fayonko sojaro luba kanande.
So that's how we were all packed out of the compound and then taken to the neighboring compound.
Ako tembolo ye tulube kafunyoma suokono je ye samba isinyolu la kordal to idalaji.
Were the soldiers coming towards your house? Were the soldiers coming towards your home?
For sojaro no ibina kan Allah suwala kono numbang.
Yes.
Ha.
So did any people remain in your home?
Yes, there were other family members, not immediate.
Ako ha badin dolu be sokono la manke ko ni menu yele kilimuti de bari badin dolu fanal tuta sokono jele.
But your immediate family members left.
Bari amunta meni alonko ini wolemu badin kilimul te atelu be bota sokono le.
Yeah, sure, including my mom and my 2-year-old sister.
Ha ntelu be bota jele kata ndoma me alonko abe sanji fulale wotumo.
Where did you go?
Altara min dole.
We didn't have time to go far, so from our compound, they put us in the next compound.
Mang dula jangota, biri yem fintindin na sokono, korda membe mbalaje drong, yendundi woleto.
I was not in the same room with my mom.
Mantara bunkling kono den nimbama.
I think they just hit us like so quickly, so I was with Mohammed.
Ako amunta yetelu nung wonyale tarin kedon kubari, and atani Mohammed lebe nyokan.
And what happened next?
Mohammed
had called Yamadabo.
Mohammed ye Yamadabo commandile nung.
And who's Yamadabo?
Jumalo Yamadabo ti.
She is Ousseynou Dabo's daughter.
Ousseynou Dabo dingolo mo fananti.
And then informed her of what was happening.
Ka faye membe kerin nung itulula karola wotumo.
So after some time, or let's say 30 minutes,
bring wati tambita hanufo come again.
some 30 minutes after,
biringa ta ko tata han fa minute tan sabasi
our neighbors came and told us to come out.
utumolom isi nyolu fintita nan ka fo ali fintina.
And then Yama had also sent a friend of hers.
Sorry, Yama had
Sent a friend of hers.
utumo Yama fana ya teri do kinanje
Who came with a car,
menni moto nata
but she didn't come up to the house.
bara manna de han fo to laswo fango kono de.
She parked a bit far from the house.
Alo tada me nga jam fandinta korda nyinnale.
So from the neighbor's house, we didn't go back home.
Ako bari biri bota wo dinkirato etelube mabori nundami mamuru ila suwo kono de.
We immediately had to go to the car.
Utumolem itata katabula wo moto kono.
And we told the lady to take us to the Senegalese embassy.
Utumolom ya fo drive on prae samba Senegal la embassy oto.
Why did you make that decision? Why did you make that request?
Muna nalio kanindiroke.
Because after the protest,
Because
and seeing that the soldiers had come home immediately,
katu birim balamba ya botala ngaje ko sojaro lunata ntelia drong wo noto.
it was not safe anymore.
Je mang tanka kota ke silang tanko mantara kering itoli.
And probably what my dad thought, that it wouldn't be safe for his family.
Amunta ko afaye mem foy ay nu ko ate koila puru itelie tara swokonoji.
Okay. So, what happened when you arrived at the Senegalese embassy?
Biral futa Senegal la embassy oto sila munena take.
We were unfortunately denied entry.
Follow to aketa ku kolengoti katu balantale follow puru ye dunje.
What did you
And
do?
the security told us that it was on Saturday and we were not given permission to go in.
Security olumen be kantarola je wole nyina foyen ko wolungo mu sibiti lungo leti andung imang kango dila pour ye dung kono to je.
So we had to find a place, and like it was under a veranda at the back of the embassy where we had to stand.
Ako bitum foy dula nyinin doro be tarla dam bitu itata perengole koto embassy o nyin koma je bitu itata lo perengole koto je.
Because we saw that on the highway there were paramilitaries, highly mounted with paramilitary officers.
Akatu ayaje ko jenjengulu la je dalulu la paramilitary ulu je ulu mafangulu fananale mennu yalon ko isiata do manding.
So we called my brother-in-law. He was my sister's husband. Sorry.
Ako utumolang ya abitan kumandi akoto muso kema.
And we told him we couldn't get in, and he had to send us a taxi.
Andu yenyina fayan ko mandunno janden nata damen bitum wonata taxi o kinang.
And we were taken to Sanchaba, at his house.
Utumole samba Sanchaba wo fangola bungoto.
And what happened after that?
We stayed
at Sanchaba for a week in hiding.
At this stage, 1 week after the information you received that your father had died, did you receive or did the family receive any information from the authorities concerning the whereabouts of your father?
Fodung nyaton ko lu banko la mansakunda la karola ali kuma soto ibulule bang ka kuma fali mentlinta ifama la Kenya la
Not at all.
hani kibar mambo ibulu.
Did you receive any delegation from the government to try to at least interact with the family in any way?
Fo aliye molu soton ne mennu bota mansa kunda la karola pour mennu nata pour inin dimbaya la molu se nyoje ka diamu nyoye.
No, and as a matter of fact, we were running away from the government.
Ako hani wo manke aketa nyame mfango ntel beborika wo mansa kunda la le wotumo.
Do you know whether the government made any statement, public statement about the incident?
Fo yenyum kala mutafanan ko fo mansa kunda na ta kuma fole me ye memfo jamaa moli ye nyin ko fon la karola.
To the best of my knowledge, not
ndela londo to den na mira roto manlala anyon kumo findita o tembo.
So as far as you know, the government remained mum throughout.
Bito itela londo to wuche onyi mume obeko no man sakunda be deri ne akwala.
Not only did they remain silent, but they haunted us too.
Amang yan danyin damman na yedede ilna tawulile ibentolu nyinin kangotumo.
And as a result of the fact that you were being searched for all over, what did you do?
Biral nata nyin akoyta mako nyim man sakundala molu bali nyinin kanne. Silang alnata muneke oto.
I reached out to a friend who is my current husband.
I beg your pardon?
Asked him. I reached out to a friend who is my current husband now.
Akotu mole nganteri kumandi me yalonko nyin tembe wole munte futuke oti.
I told him I think we would have to leave the Gambia.
Why did you think that you had to leave the country?
We wouldn't be able to stay in hiding our whole lives.
Hiding from
We had to go somewhere.
Hiding from who and why?
Hiding from Yaya Jammeh and his authorities.
Why?
For being the family members of Solo Sandeng. And probably for speaking out on that day and protesting on April 16th.
So you informed Mr. Dabo Balamusa that you thought that the wise thing to do was to leave the country. What happened after that?
Saying inata nyum for Balamusa Dabo iya mira ko men koyta wolem ali banko bula silang mune natake o kola brio 5 watambita.
He also related the information to someone, Tukulor, who also spoke to Sahna Sala of the BC.
Yo say atafanandia muta moleye me yalonko ka foye Tukulor si. So wo fananna ta dia mu modo fanaye ka fome is it Sahna Sala?
Yeah.
Yo fananna ta dia mu modoye ka fome Sahna Sala.
And Sahna Sala would also be in the United States, is that right?
And Motumo Sahna Sala fanambe America banko le kan fonde.
And what happened after that?
Biro beketa mune natake.
It was my first time speaking to both people, so Sahna told me they would help me.
You know, wolem sinya follow to ndia mata umu fulole, bari Sahna nata nyimfonye nko, mfanal bali makoilale.
But she told me we had to keep it a secret.
Bari ay nyimfonye fananko nga ke kulloti.
Because if it is known, we might be caught or arrested.
Katu nako wanyarita asekeno nteleman soto akono.
So I told her I wouldn't tell anyone.
Nanyina fa ko to ntefanante nyimfola momondiye.
Even my mom, I told her I am doing what my dad asked me to do.
Hanimba ma nganyina fa ko mfa ma memfonye de mbewle katakang.
He told me to keep the family safe.
Ay nyina fonya pour nga katanga dimba ya tankandi.
So please bear with me. I can't explain everything.
Woto isimu nyanya dorong ntekumo be satano leye.
But we will be leaving.
Bari mbe bola janne.
And how did you leave?
Silangal nata boja nyadile.
Sahna Sala sent, she firstly connected me to someone.
Follow Sahna. Juma who?
Musa Asar.
Sahna Sala fananata nimmo dole faynyo kay ka fume Musa Asar.
Who was also in exile in Senegal.
Me yalo wo fanaye banko bulale wotumode awudaita be Senegal banko kan.
Musa told me he would guide me.
Musa nyum fonyanko aben iya marilale kan samba kasilo itan.
Until we got to him.
Hanu fo nga futama.
Did that
they also
happen?
sent a driver.
Anata moto fanang kinang.
Proceed, please.
Tente.
And the guy came, I remember it was 5th of April.
Wo mari ni moto nata ning hakilo bakang April karotil muang anil lulu.
On a Sunday.
Dimasi lungola.
We left very early in the morning
mbota jang somanda junole
while it was still dark.
utumo dibobe dun dimfang
But not all of us.
bari mbe manta nyola de
It was myself,
akwate fango
my mother,
anabama
my two sisters.
aning
No, it was Aminata.
anado fulolu Aminata.
She's my elder sister.
Aminata o makoto musoleti
In a
And my
sense,
youngest sister.
anate do muso
all of you managed to make it across the border to Senegal, correct?
bitung atelu be nata katawtumole hanufo aliena ne o salang aldunta Senegal.
Yes, we divided ourselves into two groups. Some went through the Banjul ferry terminal.
Akoy talata kafu iketa kafu fulaleti dolu tata nim Banjul ferry o ma fangola silola
And some of us used
Jiboro.
Jiboro.
dolu tata nin Jiboro silole la
Eventually,
We couldn't.
proceed, please.
akoy tenteng
We couldn't just walk past the Jiboro police station. So my sister and my brother.
akoy tinano la drong ye tambi Jiboro police station la wonya. Sorry, can you come again? What followed that?
My sister and brother had to act like villagers and they just walked past.
Ako bitung abaring keo aning akoto muso ye fankele ko itel mo sate o molleti bitung inata drong itamate singola itambita.
I couldn't do that.
Akata te okenola
So the driver say who he took me through the bush.
ako drive o nyin sehu woni moto dunta sutole kono.
No, it was not with the car.
Ako hani ay manta moto la bitung amunta sehu wole ate dundi suto kono itamate singola.
And then I walked past the police station
Itambita police station wala wole nyama.
while he went back to pick my mom and the baby.
Utumole monata muru kata abama ninde na no dindingu nyin kamma.
They went with the car, but the three of us had to walk on foot.
Wel nim moto le nata de bari tel mo sabota mata e singol le la ka nane o salang.
Eventually, all of you managed to make it across the border, and you found yourself in Senegal.
Abitung anata ke ko albe ye nane o salang wole nyama albnata ben albe alifanje Senegal.
Kindly tell us briefly about life in Senegal at that time.
Afanyandron kuma sutun kono taranya baluta nyameng altarta nyameng Senegal banko kan.
But when we got to Dakar,
Birim futata Dakar.
sorry, it was not Dakar itself.
Sorry, come again.
Kampuma Ngeko.
Biring tatam futata dame kampuma ngeko
Next to Sinja.
dame be Sinja bala.
Yeah, we thought it was not safe in Dakar.
Nanyim mirako tanko mantaran toliye Dakar sate okono.
Why do you think that?
Munan na yo mira.
There was rumors that Jammeh had his NIA officers, plainclothes officers there.
Nanyim kibaro sotoko ngunu kumo ya itandiko. Jammela molu be Senegal banko kan wotumo Dakar sate okono. Men yalon koy buka uniform dum bari be doku wala teleye.
So just to take precautions, we had to stop at Kampama, where Musa also lived.
Kam pur kam fantankandi ndanta kampama adum Musa fana yabe woleto.
So you decided to settle down in Ngeko, right?
Bitung alenyu mata pur kasi ngeko al sita woleto.
Yes.
Ha.
And for how long did you remain in Senegal?
Ale wati jelle ke Senegal.
For 9 months.
Mbije kari kononto.
And how did you spend your time in Senegal?
Ite ya alial wato mengal tartaje iketa nyadile yo wato ke nyadile.
Firstly, it was difficult.
Follow de akoleata.
Thankfully, when we got there, Sohna Sala
Sorry, bral futata je Sohna
had
Sala.
arranged with Musa,
Berim futata je Sohna Sala utumo anim Musa ye ferocity.
and a house was rented for the family.
Ye bungoluas dimbaya ye.
It was a full compound,
Amunta korda mume olemu.
but had only 2 bedrooms.
Bari labung fula drone ne bije.
We were 10 people.
Andu utumo itulumo tannemu.
So we had to use the parlor as another bedroom.
Between salo nyin kono yewoleta ka ke labundoti.
And on that day, we didn't have enough mattresses.
Kato lumfolo nyin imam pajasolu soto me yesi.
So I called my friend in Gambia.
Aya teri kumandi membe Gambia jang.
And my salary was sent to me via Wari.
Yala karijo kodo kiaye wari la kodiki bundala.
And we bought about 3 mattresses.
Utumole ye pajasi sabasang.
My siblings and my mom had to sleep on them.
Adolu ning abama wolu bela la wolekang.
I spread a prayer mat and I slept on that. Gracefully though.
Wolunde ateye salibaso le fene ayela wolekang wolung.
I was glad that I had to do what my dad asked me to do.
Akokatu menke wolem afamaye memfaye ayole katawonya.
This initial move to Senegal must have had an impact on the family. Could you tell us about that?
Aliyenying silo mentaten kataka hanfo kadum Senegal. Ay kule sababu ite alla dimbaya mumeoma. Femfo nyotobang ay mune sababu alima.
It was our first time for most of my family. First time leaving Gambia.
Akwate nin dimbaya mumeolube nyine musinya foloti puru yegbo Gambia banko kang kabanko bula.
And we also left abruptly.
Andu ila tafanan keta terrain mortality.
We didn't take along any clothes because Sehu had told us with clothes.
Katu nimfeto fata manta nyola meya long isa samba.
Sehu told us if we had gone with clothes, we would have been detected at the border.
Ako katu Sehu yenyine foyenko nal nimfengulu nata feto fatolu. Ibale korosila ibale sutela le na neoto de.
Because my siblings had to act like villagers, so they should not be recognized as travelers.
Katu ate dolu aninga koto wolu ye fankele koye musate dingoleti bitung mo manyane jubela ke sute ko tamala le munyeliti.
So in Senegal we had no belongings. We left everything in Gambia.
Ako katu Senegal banko kam fente buluje mensike fansum fengoluti. Ye fengo betu
We
Gambia
left family members.
Abego pad?
We left family members too.
Andu ye badin dolu fanal tu banko kanjang.
And we just moved. Just
And
the previous day to the next day we were in Senegal.
itel wulital don kata lumfolo me wulta wosomo ye fanje Senegal.
So it was very hard for the family to settle.
Akoleata dimbaya bulu purkasi kataradula kilinto.
And for the school-going kids, my younger brothers,
Dindigulu ndokolu menu bitakan karambungoto.
they wouldn't be able to go to school.
Itelu fanalu titano la karambungoto silang.
But we later registered them at the Franco-Arabic school in Senegal. They started French.
Nata idundi karambungoto eka Arab aning France kango karambumento je.
While in Senegal, you also registered with the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, correct?
Bilal be Senegal al natata aliali fansa fe UNHCR wolem United Nations la buloti menuka wudai lalu makoy.
And in that process, you were also assisted by some other relevant regional and international organizations.
Bitu wo fanan kono ka fu kotengolu men ya lon ko bankunim bankute ma bunda le wuluti wul fanal nata e bulodun ali koto pour ka makoy rodi yalla.
Yes, like Amnesty International, Article 19.
Article 19, Amnesty International, will be able to follow the economy.
Who in particular were you in contact with at Article 19?
Jumale mumote alnim menkanyo moy bundala ikafume Article 19.
My lovely Auntie Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc.
Mbama ikafume Auntie Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc.
And
Sidi Gassama.
And Amnesty membijenu ka fayne Sidi Gassama.
All right.
You were saying?
No, happy that you are well taken care of by Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc and Sidi Gassama of Amnesty.
Nyingkata sewoti Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc ni Sidi Gassama Amnesty la bunda ye ali topoto woketa sewoti.
And you were in Senegal, and were you during this period following events that were happening in the Gambia?
Albe Senegal wotumo men. Fo wotumo albale hakilo tu kanne kuoluto menu be ke kan nun Gambia banko kan wotumo.
Yes, we were.
Ha, mben hakilo tu kan kuoluto le.
What did you learn?
Aliye mun kulle korosi wokono.
The protesters, the April 14 protesters, were taken to court.
April karotil tan ni nani mene balambaya ke ye samba kito la.
But Solo never showed up.
Bari solo man finti koteke.
Personally, I had concluded it was true.
Bitung we bambandi ka tonya yandi ko tonya la mem fota ma wala keta.
That my mom was still hopeful.
Bari hanim bi mbama ni jikole bije.
That he might maybe show up one day. Maybe he's just wounded or in a bad condition, but he was not dead.
Bari la jiko munyende fo lung sinasi afama si finti ka fo ko sekeno abaramata le doron wala lung si isinaje ay finti nang ayo abama ni wala jiko be siri no tumo.
But it was in June 2016.
Ako bari June karo kono 2016
I remember Sheikh Omar Jeng,
hakilo bakang ikafome Sheikh Omar Jeng,
who was representing the state at the time,
me yalon ko atelebe banko to yala utumo
confirmed that Solo Sandeng had died in custody.
ay nyin tonya yandi utumo le ko Solo Sandeng fatale tonya mutokono.
From respiratory failure.
Ka foko wo amanni ji wala sotonno ameni ji nole wala kitala saya sababoti.
How did the family receive that information?
Amunta sila dimba ya luyo kibaro ya ata nyadile ya soto nyadile.
I would say every day 2016 after April was a big day for us.
Sorry, can you come back again?
I must say that every day after April 14.
Nsafo no ko luolunding bring April karotil tan nin nano tambita.
Was a devastating day for the family.
Akake lun sangara baletin to dimbaya moliye.
We would receive one news or the other.
Nse kibaro lu soto menu ya lonko isike kibar fatan dinguluti.
And it was never anything to say he might be alive.
Bari kibar mamfutan mensa keno ko abe balurin ne hanibi.
But the fact that yes, he has died.
When
you received this information, did your family receive it at the same time?
Birale nyin kibaro soto. Dimbaya bele ya kibaro soto wate kilimula bang?
No, I hid in a room.
Hani ngamabo bungule kono.
And I was following the news.
Where
I also read Nogoyanjai's testimony.
Je konolem Nogoyanjai ye sedearo kumakangulu menu fongo fanam karanjele.
As to how she was tortured and how she killed my dad.
Ani yate tajire ya nyamen ka balo dimende aning ko men ketam fama laje.
She described things as she saw them.
Ay kolu je nyamin ay sata wala nyama.
And this broke my heart.
Bitung wala keta kuti meyente jisotinya meyen jikila tendi dal.
Because I know how strong my father was.
Katungalo ne mfamu mo bambandi mfaso menti nung.
And torturing him to a point to those pains. Very hard torture.
Ka muta ka adimindi ka tajire ya wonyama me ya lonka keta kukole mbati nuotumo.
Take your time.
I'm sorry about that.
Take your time.
Yeah, so when I read that,
Biringa kuma kangolu karang
I didn't tell my mom immediately.
ma fumba mai wonoto de.
She asked why I was crying because I cried so bitterly.
Waya nyininka munanne ka kumbo katu utumo aka kumbo ta kumbo nya jaw.
I only told her that I had a bad headache.
Akay nyin fa ba mayen ko kundi mimngole mutameye mbatandi.
I remember she gave me some paracetamol to take.
Ako hakilo ba kan we paracetamol bori ke sol dol dia la prasa min.
Later, I called my and brought the whole siblings.
O atu wo kola lo manata akotol ning adukol dul kumandi abadi stungul drong.
I showed them what I had read.
Aya itandi la ate kibaro men karang.
But I told him I don't know how to tell my mom.
Bara yina foye sila malo mbenyin kibaro fulamba maye nyadile.
So we decided we would call my dad's brothers back in the Gambia.
Bari nata kambenyin doko afama badi afama doko wala koto membe Gambia jang isiyo kumandi.
And we told them that we would like them to break the news to my mom finally.
Bitung ya koendi wala mako ibe lafilale pour atasi kibaro nyindi bamala.
They did that.
Woli yoleke.
And I remember my mom fell down and she was unconscious.
Akabota nyin kala mabiria akibaro fo abama e aboitale bitung aketuta.
My siblings, all of us, we sat there crying.
Akana dokolu ana akotolu besi tanyo kanje be kumbo kang.
Worried about my mom.
Katu ibamala ko fongenate deun.
But she was eventually fine.
Bari a okola alanata ke tanamanna soto.
And this certainly was a period very close to the elections of 2016.
Wakata wato leti wato men katata nun karte fayola bake 2016 sangokono.
What did you do during this period?
Ite fonge muneke nu wo wuche wala wotembo.
With the full knowledge that your father had passed.
Andu wotumo kumo ko ite mako ifama alaya minjio doyale.
I had concluded at that point.
Bitung wotembo nata nyine mutan sondo mo konoko.
My dad wanted Jammeh to be ousted out.
Mfama lafita nyin drone la nung pour ka Jammeh bondi mansayala.
And I would continue from where he stopped on April.
Bitung telum be continue la le ate danta dameng April karo tiltani na non tebata la jele ngatenteng.
So I held a lot of interviews.
Bitu waya sabu ngakacha jamalu ke nimmolu.
And I reached out to the young people that I knew in Gambia.
Bitu ngakata fanang mfutata nim fondinke jamali nyomo e menebe Gambia jang.
I remember calling and reaching out to some friends with the help of some people in Senegal.
Andong modolie mako e menebe mfe Senegal ya kata han fonding mo fondinke modolie nyomo e menebe Gambia jang utumo.
We bought sprays where they wrote on the walls, on the streets, Gambia has decided.
Bitung nganying spray lu sang wolem menu be ko pompir langlo ika bumbalo lu safe menna ka foje ko Gambia has decided wolem nyenti Gambia yelo dula tale.
Because people were being arrested.
I beg your pardon? People
who wore the t-shirts, Gambia has decided, were being arrested.
Katotumo many ya dondi kodunga be safari member Gambia has decided. Wolem Gambia kangotale. Yo molu mutale nungotumo be molu mutakang.
This must have happened after the election results were announced. My question was more about what you did prior to the elections.
Wo be wo momuto wo ngalo keta birin carte fayo tambita bari bitum ndela nyinin karo munum muneti jan nin carte wo ye fay ye mun kulle tamandi ferol men ye kenu.
Yeah, sorry about that. So we had made Facebook videos that was with the whole family, excluding
my
mom.
ye dimbaya video leta no wotumo etelo bari bamada mantara wulu kono de yo video lu dada
appealing to people to come out
ka wasimo le pour ye finti kata carte o
for the coalition at that time.
Pour kata carte o fay patiolu la den na bunda e ka fome coalition.
Yeah, these videos could be found on Facebook.
Wo video lu ye fintindi Facebook la bunda la.
In essence, you continued the campaign against Jammeh.
Amunta wala mnyinti ko atelier campaign o tentendi lankene mo pour ka Jammeh ka fero ke pour ka kele ka bondi.
Yes.
And it was after the results were announced indicating that Jammeh had lost. That was when you started the Gambia Has Decided, you joined the Gambia Has Decided campaign to protect the vote.
Amunta bring carte o fayta hanu fo silang anata senea ko Jammeh boytale a fotale utumolom inata kafu nyin lankene mo ma campaign o Gambia Has Decided pour ka ko sembentu ya.
How did the family receive the information that Jammeh had lost the election?
Dimbaya mulu ya kibaro nyinta nyadile bring afatako Jammeh boytale carte fayoto.
I remember we hadn't slept the whole night.
Nakilo baka ulun suto mume mansino.
Yeah, writing. I had a book and I was writing off the board.
Akotonya buko bembulumbe menkarankal nungo tumo.
Like my dad would do.
Kumfa maka menkenundoro.
So when the news was broken, that it took a long time. Next morning.
Bring akibaro fintindi. I wati janta fu katabula the next morning. You mean?
Yes.
Kata hanu fo fanikeo kang.
And when it was announced that Adama Barrow had won,
utumole ya kankula ko Adama Barrow ganyetale.
Instead of laughing, we cried.
Itelu amanke ko ijeleta de bari kumbota le koteke.
I guess they were tears of joy.
Bare ay nyimuta ko aketa sewo nyaji woleti.
To know that Solo had achieved what he was fighting for his whole life.
Amunta yenyine je ko Solo la balu mume kono abe men katakang woto asototale sayeng.
And most importantly, what he died for.
Alunga men kummayata je wolem nyintiko afata meye wole natake.
And also that we could go back home soon.
And atemela woto mbesailaya.
And indeed, on the 28th January 2017, you returned to Gambia, correct?
Bitu natake ko January karotili muang aninsai 2017 al saita nang Gambia.
We did. It was sad because we had a family in Senegal as well.
Ako to nyanga ke wole nyama bare natake balafa fananti katunga badingulu soto dimbalu soto Senegal mbenun dameng.
I have pictures here with me.
Natalo lubembulu jang.
Pictures of the family.
Dimba ala natalolu.
Could you zoom into this?
Camera tiolu sa.
This one showed the family in Senegal.
Nye dimba ala yitandi watu mebe Senegal.
Could you confirm that?
Isa to nyayandi.
Yeah, sure.
Wolem.
And there is another.
Do fanambijang.
Of the family at the ferry when they arrived from Senegal.
Senegal.
Correct?
Yes, and we had friends and family who came to receive us, and we appreciated that so much.
Terol ning bading lunata menunata mbentung me yalon ka ketanyen sewo bati.
That would be this photograph.
Wolem nyin nataloti.
Right.
Mr. Chair, I would ask that these pictures be exhibited. I'll provide the exhibit numbers in a moment. How did it feel to come back to Gambia during that period?
Silang, akete fe nyadi le hadamayatu purkaje ko ibe seyla nang iya kana Gambia.
It was like a dream come true. We really didn't expect to come back soon.
Aketa ko ning isibo takola wo sibo me isibo tala. Wonata yelema keta kusoto ringuti katu imanjiki nunko wo wati sutungo kono itelbe silo soto la kase na Gambia.
But
we are thankful.
Bare akete yesewote andu ye jairo nin tenturo di.
Soon thereafter the tables turned. Those who were being prosecuted were released, and those who were responsible for the arrests are now being prosecuted.
Butungo wati sutungo kono tabuloli yele matade. Meni ya lonko be kitindi kanu otumo ebe mutokono yebula. Meni ya lonko lena take moluti meni yeo tajire yaluke saying inatamuru kaulumuta ebe oldolu kitindi kan.
The NIA 9 case was born.
Mutumolom NIA la mo nyaton ka kononto lumengi be kitindi kan wala ko findita datita utumole.
What did you come to learn about this case?
Inata mune karango ko nyin kono bring datita wo kito.
Before I come to that, I would like to say that my sister delivered.
Sorry,
in Senegal.
Who delivered?
My sister.
Ako jannabe futalauto akotoma wuluta Senegal.
And I also got married in exile.
Andungate fanam furuta o tembole wato men ibe banko e bantala.
So no matter how hard it was,
ako barbitu nyawnyanda koleata nyawyanding.
We made sure we made some happy moments out of it.
Barbitu ya kata hanufo kakodo lutamandi me ya lonko uluketa tukunyimmalti.
And I first did that to defy Yame, who would try to deny us from our happiness.
Andung ayo kenyina kama pour hanimbi kala balamba ya itandi jammela me ya lonko wo man lafi itelila ni se wola.
Back to the NIA case in Gambia.
Pour kamuruna nying NIA la ku ko nyinto la kito nyinto Gambia jang.
We were consulted by some police officers. I remember Senghor.
Ako police holu dolu nata soto meni yenyininka hakilo baka ka fo me Senghor.
Jali?
Ako fo Jali.
No.
Proceed.
Could be. Yeah, so we were invited at the Banjul police headquarters.
Ye kumandi puru ifanalisita Banjul la police korda bato.
Things were explained to us.
Ye kulu sate ye jele kabo ye nyoto.
That my father's grave was Tanjele.
Ko afama ya abade Tanjele tata kaburo nyimbe woleto.
Where he was buried that night when he was tortured to death.
Lumme ya tajire ya ka dimindi fafata itata bade damen Tanje.
From what you learned, was he given a proper Muslim burial?
Ila londo to mem foye fodum ika muslimo lu bade nyame ya bade wala nyama bang.
No, he was just dropped inside there.
Ako hani de ya sambale dorong ya asusare.
So the police asked us if we would give them permission to exhume the body.
Ako police le nyum fo ni si kango di tolla pour ye fureo nyin sen kam wuri.
And again, on behalf of the family, I signed the papers.
Ako kota ke dimba ya lutoya la atele kaito lu sign.
And the police exhumed the body.
Police le afreo nyim bondi ka sing.
Yeah, at which I couldn't be present.
Andung ate mama beno bo dinkirato.
But my younger brother Muhammad was there.
Bari adoma Muhammad wo bijele nu wotumo.
What happened to the remains?
Silang inata muneke fureo nyin nabiria asain kanguri.
It was taken to Banjul at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital.
Ye fureo nyin samba banyun loptani banyin to.
And a DNA test was conducted.
Wotumolo ye kotoboro ke ka ajibe itelisi mum fenne bondino abala isa jube men ko tonya solo sandem fangolo munyindi.
Yeah, from a forensic doctor. He was international.
Dr. Romeo do ko ke banku nim bankute ma do kulale ma mariti.
And I remember he was confirmed that he was solo.
Bitung hakilo baka ngina ta tonya yandi ko tonya nyimmari solo sandem fangole munyindi.
And the body was still at the hospital.
And wotumo freo ana betarali abelopitano to jenu wotumo.
After 4 years.
After? Sanji nani kola for saying.
Their family would need closure on that particular issue, wouldn't they?
Dimbal be solale konyin kumfadulala wo konyin na karola fonde.
That is one of the things that hurt, knowing that Solo's remains at the hospital.
Umukulu kono kilinete ka foko hanimbi solo fureo belari loptano to.
Can you
and we can
kindly
receive it for closure.
Fodung kakulu kumfa fo isa freo dinon nale.
Can you kindly tell the Commission the impact all this has had on you and your family?
Saying afo commission e nyinko be anatamune sababu itekuning dimbaya luma.
Firstly, my younger sister,
Follow ndoma ikafume jenaba.
she was very close to my dad.
Akatatamfa mala bake nungotumo.
And we would say my dad has spoiled her.
Sorry, come back again.
We would say she was a pet.
Nsafoko mfama ayate lakko mutanyamin ayatinyandile dal.
She would always, until now, have emotional breakdowns.
Kabiru otumo fokana bula sign wati ni wati wokuo miringo akadungalale.
She would be admitted at the hospital.
Niyo ketala dorong tumodo lo sa landi lopitano to.
And once I remember, I arranged for her to go to Banjo.
Lung fanso ton tante famale kulu parende pour ka samba banjunu.
And the doctor had told me that we should make sure.
Doctor o nyim foyenko what?
We should make sure she doesn't stay alone.
Nsa kata anyama kakari abula adam manka kide afaye.
Because it's because she thinks a lot.
Kato akatui mira la fayenne dorong.
That's why she has these breakdowns and also this respiratory problem.
Wala na wati ni wati nyimiringo kadungala hanufo nijio kakoleama akakolea kulu sabu ama.
And personally, I do have nightmares still.
Akwate fango kungo wati ni wati sonde mdeungo kadunga kunna menka kae miral kuoti.
When I close my eyes, I see my father being beaten.
Sorry, come back again.
What I see is my father being tortured.
Akuna nyalu taung akamenje wole mnyenti ba fama dimindi kantumo menna.
And the fact that I read Nogonjai's testimony and that
andung nyimfana mukuleti Nogonjai kumakang lumenufo ala sede yaro kono menketa fama ala ayo fana moyi.
And that the police had informed me that there was a video that was available of my dad.
Sorry, I beg your pardon?
A video of my dad after he was tortured was available.
Inatanyum fayanko video be kerinne video me ya lonko biri ya fama dimindi fokol be kola a video be kerinne
Where he was asking for drinking water and that hurts me.
Damen aba foka mpuri ya so jiola ayemin ya abali jiola akoka diminne hanifo.
So these are the things I see when I sleep.
Akonyilong quality akamenje ninga ayela abesino la kasibo menula.
I've tried speaking to psychologists, but I don't think I would ever be able to get over that.
Aya katale purka dia mumoli lonna lu mensa mako no akobara mamira fo wokobe bono la kunna koteke.
There might be other problems with my other.
There might be other problems. Sorry, come back again.
With my other sibling.
Ako asekeno adoko lu fanalu fo ana wala kotolu fo lu fanal ka wonyon kole ya façon lu taki.
But I don't know.
Bari akama long.
One thing for sure is that my youngest sister, who was 2 at the time,
Ako bari kukiling ado labango meya long ko tumo sio be sanji fula.
couldn't remember who her dad was.
Hakilo mamutano jumale mu afamati.
And Solo was, because we are a young family, the oldest of us is like 30 now.
Ako katu itulmu dimbaya funding caring olti katu men ke bayata ibe kono bi wosio be sanji tansaba.
We were all school going at the time or had graduated from school.
Ako tumo itelu jama be kono be bita kan karambungol to dantale jita karamuto tumo.
And I just had started work from October to April.
Ako tumo ate do ko damutale dron kabo October kata April karo kan.
My sister also started working at MRC.
Ako ndungo yatara akoto muso fana do ko damuta MRC.
But because we had to run to exile,
Akok bari katu wairi foye banko bula kawudai.
Both my sister and I had to lose our jobs.
Akoto muso nate kungo itulube fote la do ko la wala nyama.
And coming back to Gambia,
Andung biring kamuruna Gambia.
Compound where we stayed, which was my mom's family compound.
Ebe suo men kononung abamala dimbaya korda kabila korda lem jeti.
The part that we stayed was rented out.
Itulube damen tonung inata otoke lua soleti modol letata
And
je.
we had to rent.
Bitu tumole mfoitul fanalu nata ta lua sole kono.
And for the most part,
Andung men sembo warta je.
we have been living at the mercy of other people who would help the family.
Itulube balu kam modol lela makoy rola men ya lonko woleka idimbaya nyim makoy.
And this is not because we are proud,
Ako bari amanke ko nyinti ko itelu imumoleti menu kanganya ala walla iwarata.
but no one would like to live at the mercy of other people.
Bari nyi manke modiya nye kwoti ite tara yete tara baluri modol la makoy ro dam mankang.
And it is not something that we wished for
Ando manke kuti itelu fonglu lafita menna.
or that we are comfortable with.
Walla me ya lonko asono yate itulu fe.
We try as much as possible not to get to that point.
Ifanal ka katale nyabe sio nyama puru kanatara otuku ngoto.
But he would realize it is inevitable at some point.
Bari kanaje ko wato dolu ferele man soto walanna.
Mr. Chair, that's the end of my questioning of the witness. Thank you very much, Fatoumatta, for answering my questions. Over to you, Mr. Chair.
Inum barabake Fatoumatta yenna nyinin karolu be jabi saying ay kumo saundi ka murundi chairman ma.
Thank you very much indeed, my counsel, and thank you, Madam Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc for your testimony.
Chairman ye council numbara bari ete Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc fanan chairman ko inumbara ila songo ila sede yaro kan.
We share the family's pain at the loss of your father.
Bitung dimbaya la dimingu nila nikuya menketa ifama la sayati dimin no me ya lonko mbe dentalale.
Ibrahim Solo Sandeng was a patriot.
Ibrahim Solo Sandeng bankudin kende bale mo atinu.
He made the ultimate sacrifice
Amunta ayebu afanne to banko to yala.
To liberate the country
Puru banko sa fan soto no nyami.
from a brutal dictatorship
Kabo maralo kono me ya lonko sembela mararo le menin tilimbali atata nyola.
and authoritarian rule.
Me ya lonko mo kilin kamole katamanu otumo fanan.
It was not just his individual sacrifice,
Amanke ko ate la kunkiling fambo da mannemu.
but the impact of that on the family, a young family.
Bari wate lawo kuo we ko men sabu dimbaya ma menketa dimbaya fundinke oti menketa fundinke dimbaya ti.
His sacrifice
Alawo fambo
will remain in the annals of the liberation of this country.
wo bekela tariko liti me ya lonka be tula Gambia la tariko le kono fojandim faw.
Thank you very much indeed, Fatoumatta,
Inum barabake Fatoumatta
for coming to help us get to understand what happened 14th to 16 April
pur kanam makoy
2016.
menketa kabo April karo til tan nani kata April karo til tan ani woro kan April karo kono 2016 yem makoy je inimbara.
And subsequently the suffering that the family endured.
Aning dimbaya nata batamen taki akwokola.
Commissioners, if you have any questions to ask, please indicate. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Ning commissioner be nyinin kala Bishop Odiko wala rafte nyinin kala.
Thank you, Chairman.
Akoy numbara chairman.
Mrs. Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc,
Mrs. Fatoumatta Sandeng Trrc,
we are deeply sorry for the pains that your family went through.
Nying ketam fanali bala fa bati anin ni kuya inila dimbaya lo ni badi ngulu dunta batamen kono.
But did I hear you rightly?
Bari fonga ila kumo moy kule bang.
Is your father's remains still in the mortuary?
Fo hanimbi ifama fureo be fure bungo kono le Banjulu bang.
Yes, Bishop, it is still there.
Ha, Bishop, hanimbi
Last time.
a fureo bijele.
The last time we were informed
Labanta kibaro dilan na wato meng.
that is still needed for the court case that is still going on.
Ko hanimbi be sulat ringalale puru kito membe ke kanteng.
I'm so sorry
Yes, haketu
about the situation.
kulu be tembo mento.
Thank you.
Inumbara.
Thank you. I'm glad you clarified that point. That was the question I was holding up to see whether or not there was a court injunction on not releasing the body yet to the family until this issue, the case is over.
Inumbara watumon tafang fanan lafta nyinin karo kela num puru sarto wala dalilo meya kendi fureo belari nje barbitum wairi ya natake ko luani ntilimu bundale la kamu puru ibe akala sede ya jorangolti nyin kito to membe kerinteng.
Thank you. Commissioner Carr, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Carr fanan lafta nyinin kala.
Thank you, Chairman.
Akoy numbara Chairman.
Thank you for your testimony, Fatoumatta.
Fatoumatta inumbara ba ke la sede ya ro kang.
I wish to join my colleagues to say sorry for what happened to you and your family.
Mbeka fulang commission dokula kotangulu makafo aye haketu menketa inila dimba ini badi ngulula.
My question is about the current situation of your family.
Nanyinin karo tilinta men wolem inila dimbaya alube tembo mento sain lafto kalangole nyinin kala.
I've met your brother a couple of times, Mohammed.
Sinya danta ning ibarin keo kanyoje Mohammed.
But what I want to ask is, what is the situation of your family currently, and what are your family members into, especially your siblings? What are they doing?
Nanyinin karo momenti wolem albetembe do amento saying itening idokolu ning ikotolu mun ibe mune keka nyin tembeng puru ibe fansambala nyaming.
Thank you, Commissioner Carr.
Inumbara Commissioner Carr.
Like you said, Mohammed and Jainaba,
Koya fanyame Mohammed ni Jainaba.
they are attending in the University of the Gambia.
Ibita kan karambu to Gambia la University o.
We had to talk to some people also, appeal so we could have some funds to send them to the university.
Ndia mutamu le fanaliye alhaketu men ya lonko ye makoy roke pour que la university karangu nyin jo.
The payment of which is sometimes not that really paid.
Bare tumodo a joka kole alde bare bitum nyina ya sabun ka katawole nyama.
But with the help of some people, they are currently fine at the university.
Bare bitum modo la makoy rokan alhamdulillah ibe karankanne university to sai.
My elder sister works at the GRA.
Nkoto muso be do ko la GRA.
But she is also married.
Andung afutu telefanang.
And the rest of my siblings are still school going.
Bari menu bolu be du mala ndoko labangol wolu bita kan karambu to le hanebi.
The youngest is now 6.
Men dindi yata mbekono saying asiobe sanji woro.
Thank you, and send my greetings to your husband, Musa. He's my good friend too.
Inumbara bitum na kontondirolu futandi ike mama Musa nterile mo fananti.
Thank you very much. If there are no further questions, Fatoumatta, if you have any concluding remarks to make, please proceed to make them now.
Where is silang commission kono jang alfaman soto membe nyinin kala bitum Fatoumatta ite fanam bela kumo kum fala makangulu menula isi tenteng yo kachafo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Inumbara Chairman.
And I would like to thank you for having
Mbe inumbara la mbali numbara la purali sonta purunga na sedearo kijang.
First of all, I would start with some of the things that are very hard on the family.
Follow la kuol la meni alonko ikoleata dimbaya bulubak.
And that's from the general public, I would say.
Andu kabo jamamul la karola le umba fola wolela.
Especially people who somehow offer help.
sako molu men yalonko ika makoyro di
but still use that for political points.
But hanimbi ikata kake politiko jorangoti.
Or still using Solo's name for the same purpose.
Adung hanimbi ika solo ta ta ka akewo kukilimoti.
Those people wouldn't realize that they re-traumatized Solo's family.
Womo lumen ka tota ka ke jorangoti politiko la karola imam mello ngolem nyintiko hanimbi ibe solo la dimba lula nikuya ni mantoro la fakanne.
I would say Solo cannot be separated from Gambian politics, clearly.
Nsinyi mfono tonya mote solo to bondino la Gambia la politiko kono.
But what I am saying is a particular party or a particular group of people
Mbemem fo kan wala nyinti parti sotonta wala molu me yalonko wo molu
having done something for Solo's family,
ka fo ye kuke solo la dimbaya ye
taking pictures of those receipts and circulating them on Facebook.
Ikani o makoiroke ikarisito lu menu soto je ikana wo risito lu ta ke natali ke fintindi Facebook anin kibar bunda kotengolula
using that as a fighting tool against their opponents.
Pour que kele jorangoti inyo sabanyolu la karola.
Solo died for Gambia.
Solo fata Gambia le.
And he walked the streets of Serekunda with dignity that day, knowing he might die for you and me.
Andung animbu nyani horomo le tamata Serekunda silo luka wolung. Ando aynyil lonko asekeno ayefa. Ando alasaya abekela nteluning atelu beleye.
So the least expected.
Between momam sobinu menna
is to respect him and his family.
Memu ko kumutije wolem kanala dimbaya lubunya.
And to know that anything you do,
Ando yesinyilon ko yekokunding fananke.
It brings back the traumas and the pains that we lost him.
Andung akadimingo anin kijateo anin jikilateo akawle murundi nan dimbaya lu kankotake menu yalonko ekatamani wo silafa songolla.
Some people would sit on Facebook claiming that Solo was betrayed by some people were responsible for his death.
Dol kasi Facebook ikafoko molle Solo jamfa anim franka foko ye kolu menuke ya tajireya.
I would like to say that
Mbelafla kanyum foko
Solo was an adult.
Solo muke baleti.
He has been doing what he did for years.
Abdunga bekuo menke ka meta kelale sanji jama.
He is not a person that people would deceive and lure into something that he didn't want to do.
Andu amanke moti mosimen nene ka filindi ka dundi kuto amalla fi menkela.
As hard as it may feel,
Asikole ya nyaunyandi nyama.
he went out that day
Afundita wolungola.
because he wanted to.
Kato alafta fintila le wolung.
And he showed that all over before that day.
Andu ayo itandile nyabe sio nyama janu wolung fango besila.
So I beg for respect
Boto mbedani rokela ye bunya diala.
and also to him and the family.
Ka bunya diate kungonin dimbaya lula.
After that, I would just also like to say that
Niyo botala mbela fila fananka nyimfo.
with regards to victims,
Molu meni alon komantoro boite kang.
our work wouldn't be easy.
Na do kote sono yala de.
And it's always painful to recount these events.
Andung akole atale adiminta wati purka muru nyinkolu kang.
And coming together as an organization,
Anin kana kamurunyo kang kakafunyoma puru molu menu keta mantoro boita menu kang.
we had promised to work together, bring down his accomplices to book.
Nganyilla hidoleta kombe na kato dango kelale kakafunyoma jamena la umolu menu kafuta nyoma yo tajire yaluke ke londi luwa nyati lingola.
I know that it's going to be hard following the rejection of the draft constitution.
Ngalon ko be kole yalale kadu mune ya sabu follow banko la constitution kuto wala msarta kuto men nyim banko nyanta tamalala afele balantala.
And our work under this court, as we all know, is a bit hard.
Andu ñin constitution o membe lorin ten ñin me yalon ka be kering hani bi abe kole ala bakele pruntele nga continue na do ko la wokoto.
But we would make it.
Bari mba kato dango bekela le fonga tambijela.
What we need is more political will
Nsulata men na wole politiko ngani yo.
and also the unity of the victims ourselves.
Aning mantoro boytan tolu menu kang mbeke kankilinti.
I would like to refer this one to Jammeh himself,
Mbela fila kanyin kuma kango ki jamme fangoye.
who might be watching, or probably his associates will be watching.
Puru nyin tembeng asekeno ate fango ba jube kanga be lamoy kang wala anala o kafunyolu ibe lamoy kang ibe jube rola.
This is going to be just a short story.
Nyimbekela talin sutuneti.
You know, as kids at home,
Kono dindingulu menu be ya.
in the Sandeng family, I mean at home, when we were kids,
Walam sanden dimbayalu dindi ya tumo ibe su tumo meng.
we would always fight, you know, siblings fight.
Nda manglu wati badi malu tumo dolu da manglu kalu nyola le.
But the only time that we came together
Bare silo meng inata muru kakafu nyoma.
is when, you know, when we were kids, we used to eat this dix, it's called dirimo in Mandinka.
Wato me dindi ya be kering ika dirimo domo komandin kolu ya fa nyaming ika komandi nyaming.
And mostly we would launder, and then that water we would pour it in the rat holes.
Ako jama fanang ika kurolu ke wo kuri jio non jio nying ika ake nyina dinkolu kono.
And the rest of us will stand with sticks waiting for the rat to come out.
Andu itelu tomalu indindo kolu kata lo dirima dinkolu dato puru ka bato fo dirimo nyi e findina.
And as soon as it comes out, we hit it until it's weak.
Ning afindita isa lipa hanufo barako e bang.
This is to say,
Wolem nyinti ko mba fulako.
in the hole that you're hiding in,
Ibe maborin dinko men kono.
you fish you out like we fished that rat out.
Mbe fintindi le konga o dirimolu fintindi nyamin dinko kono.
We wouldn't relent.
Nenete say la koma.
One thing I know for sure,
Nga kukili longo koitamma.
brave people don't hide when things are hard.
Kewlu meni ya long koy jiso benta na kole ata wulu buke bori ke nung.
Only cowards hurt people run when they are about to be caught.
Jiton tungulu wole ke bori ke mabo na kole ata.
Equatorial Guinea might be your rat hole,
Equatorial Guinea sike la dirime dinkoti imtata e mabo daming.
but the Sandeng family and the victims in general
Bari sanden dimbayalu ani yemantoro la menu bekang.
will be the kids that poured water in that hole and hit that rat until it was justice would be us.
Ntellebe kala wo dindingluti menni e nonjio bong dirima dinkolu kono fo dirimo nyim fintita na ngalipa fo nga barako bang.
As a spokesperson of the Jammeh Justice Campaign, I always say,
Nte kanyum fole de wairi ntele diamulati jamme ka nati tilingu nyati lingula akafo nyin kondalta fole nyami.
we are inspired by our Chadian colleagues
Meye hammo dundin na kende ke fango wole mu nyongolu men yalon ko wole keta Chad banko moluti.
who suffered under Hissène Habré,
Men yalon ko fanale nyi nyom man toro le taki Hissène Habré la mararo koto.
but fought for over 20 years to
Bari-
put him behind bars.
Ya kata ya kele sanji muang hanfo ya murundi sayin abe mutokono.
It would take us more than 20 years.
Hanna be siala sanji muang to intoliye.
We are ready.
Mparetale.
If we don't achieve it,
Nimma wo soto
our siblings would.
bitu ndingulu ni na du malankolu ulu ba soto lale.
If those don't,
Nolu fanalu ma soto
our kids who were in our stomach and fought,
ndingulu menu ma wulu folo menu ben kono kono ni ulu fanal nata wulu be kelo nyin tenten dilale.
in a simple TRC town,
Ko TRRC la kuma sutungo kono
we would pursue Jammeh to justice for Jahanaba glass.
mbe jammela silo noma la kabula noma hanu fo jahannaba la kando ye yele ma ayke galasoti.
And these are the things that I would like to say.
Nyelom kumolti lafta men nu fala.
I wouldn't be able to
I beg your pardon.
I wouldn't say everything here. But like Martin Kieré says,
Barko Martin Kieré ya fo nyaming
Jammeh to justice.
Jammeh ka londi tilingu nya tilingu la.
This is our greeting,
Nyina mun na konton di roti.
and this is how we conclude too.
Alu mbe kumulu kumfala nyina fana nyama.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and
Inumbara cha aning inolankulu be.
and I appreciate that.
Waketa nyensi ya wote.
Thank you. So the struggle will go on until hell freezes over.
Chairman ko inumbara katobe continue lale hanu fo jahannaba kando ye yele may ke galasoti.
Well, at least
We
have some translation of it. It was difficult the other day to interpret.
That was funny, and that's why I used it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But again, thank you so much, Madam Sandeng Dabo.
Inumbara, Madam Sandeng Dabo.
For coming to testify before the Commission. Yeah. Council, you have one or two procedural matters to bring up the exhibit numbers?
Yes, I would give that in the afternoon session.
Oh, okay, fine. Then that's good.
Thank you.
We will now take a lunch break and then come back. You guide me on the readiness of the witness. Is the witness ready to come to 2:30,
yes.
2 o'clock?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Fine, okay. Fine, thank you. So we will take a lunch break now.
Shall we say 2:15, Mr. Chair? I have an important function.
Yeah, yes, indeed. We will do that.
And then we try to finish before 4 o'clock.
Fine. We resume at 2:15.
Yeah.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.